A fun and powerful bottom-up literacy strategy for working with adult ESL students is using words in pattern and working on vowel sounds. This project came out of a research that I did with Kathy Santapietra-Waddell and Connie Davis when we worked at the NCPDC here in Longmont. We read these two books, Teaching Adult ESL by Parrish and English L2 Reading, Getting to the Bottom by Barbara Birch. We developed the 3 charts that you're working with this week. They went into a presentation at COTESOL and eventually into an independent study course for teachers in Colorado. Kathy looked at Taking Off Beginning English, Connie looked at All-Star 1, and I looked at Standout Basic. These were all written for Level 1 Adult ESL. We each selected a unit, and for this particular group of activities, we were looking for words that had a vowel or a vowel team, a vowel blend, and a final consonant that hopefully 2 or 3 that came up in the unit that had the same letters and the same pronunciation. So here's an example. Look, book, and hook would be words in pattern. I would not add the word spook because it has a different pronunciation. Bread, head, and thread, spoon, soon, afternoon. These are words in pattern. And if they occur in your textbook, you can pull them out and create fun activities for the students to build their knowledge and decoding and abilities with these words. So with this chart, we're going to begin with the auditory perception at the bottom. And we're going to work our way up to now, besides reading and writing in context, transfer, where the students are actually going to create their own sentence using the words that we've selected. These are the 2 skills, using common phonological patterns to sound out unfamiliar words. This will really help students recode and then eventually decode new words that they encounter. And then relate letters to a range of possible pronunciations. Remember, I said I'm not going to add spook because that has a different pronunciation than the word look. Now, Connie was the low-tech gal, and she drew most of her pictures, either tracing them or just doing them freehand. She found in her unit on health the word bad, and she found the word sad. Oh, that's too bad. And somebody was sad. So she selected 3 other words with that same pattern: pad, like mouse pad, dad, and the word mad. This is a simple activity. Listen, point, and say the words. Point to bad, say bad. Notice it's very scaffolded with pictures, and it's a very simple activity. Here's how all 3 of us created the sound word linkage using our words in pattern. We line them up. Connie selected 5, and Kathy and I each selected 4. Notice how we lined up the final letters to the right margin this time, not to the left margin. For this activity, we're going to line them up to the right because we want students to have a visual impression of what that entire group of letters looks like. A-D, A-Y, and E-A-T. Creating activities that support and develop the letter sound linkage. Remove those final words and add the final letters and add only the beginning consonants. Now the students listen. They're going to listen for the word, they're going to write the missing letters, and they're going to read the words. And you don't have to do these in order. If I was Connie, I could look at this and I could say, see the word bad, read bad. And the students read bad. Okay, now write sad. And the students have to find that beginning sound right in the AD and then create the word sad. Kathy created hers on a computer. Look how nice that looks, just like a real textbook. And then for transfer, this is where the students take those words and pattern that you've had them practicing with, and they create their own sentence with it. So for mine, I was doing the unit on shopping, and pay and day were both in that book, in that unit, and then I added play and may, we created the sentence, we pay to play on a day in May. And I used clip art to reinforce this sentence with pictures. Connie drew her picture. My dad is sad and I feel bad. Kathy also used clip art to reinforce her sentence, he eats meat in the heat, but then she also created this little box where this, so for example, if in this one, if the class comes up with this sentence, then the individual students can come up with their own sentence in that lower box, and then that is their sentence that they get to read and keep. And it is okay if this sentence is nonsense or if it's humorous. It is fine. It will be much more memorable. You want to scaffold and reinforce with pictures, clip art if you can, vocabulary and word cards. Students can add these words to their collection of vocabulary cards and practice them at home. And less is more. Really, 3 words is enough. We used 4 and 5. That would be plenty. I would not go more than 5 for this. So that, in a nutshell, is working with words in pattern.